Hello and welcome to my free investing class. If you have been wondering why all these people on the internet are saying start investing early, if you were wondering, do I need to have thousands of dollars to start investing? Do I need to be out of debt? What is this emergency fund? Why should I not leave the money in the bank? Or do I need a financial advisor? Or can I do it by myself? Then you are right in this course. My name is Katerina, and I am the face behind Women Investment Mindset. And I'm on a mission to make investing accessible to as many people as possible, especially beginners. So why is it important to start investing early? And by early, I really mean early. So if you are watching me and you are maybe 14, 15, 16, and you are just about to get your first job, this is exactly the point of time I would like you to start investing. It would be even better if your parents have started investing for you the moment you were born, but I fully understand that not everyone has this kind of luxury. So why is it important to start investing that early? It's because something that is called the power of compound interest. It's basically a method where you are investing your money, and then in the first year you receive the profits at the money invested. And the next year, you receive also money and the returns you have received in the first year. And by compounding those profits and the principal, so the first amount invested, but also the returns that you already receive in the form of profits and dividends, you are compounding your profits. And Albert Einstein, which was I think one of the smartest people in the world, called the power of compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. The reason for that is that in the beginning of the journey, you are making small steps. But if you reach a certain amount, then all of a sudden the line goes up. So you start making money much faster. And this is also one of the reasons the rich people are getting richer and richer, and the people that only have a small amount of money available for investing cannot make such a big steps, or are basically staying poor or the middle class. As this can be a little bit abstract, let me show you on an example what this can mean in regards to numbers. So we have two people over here. We have Lara and Tom. Lara's parents started investing for her when she was 4 years old. Tom went to the university, finished university, got her first job, and then started investing. We have the same profit on each side, very conservative, 7% per year. And now let's have a look on the two deposits and on the profits these two people made. So basically Lara deposited $73,200. Tom deposited $46,100. So the amount, Tom deposited a little bit less, but then you would think that maybe he would receive a little bit less than Lara. But that's exactly what is not the case. Because if you look at the amount on interest payments that Lara received over the course of these 61 years, she received almost $1 million, $972,560,000. Compared to that, Tom only received $175,968. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I am talking about the power of compound interest, and this being the eighth wonder of the world. Because in this case, Lara will retire with $822,992 more than Tom. Even she deposited only $26,400 more than Tom did. I mean, if this is not scary, then I don't know what is. Yeah? But this is exactly what people are talking about when we talk about the power of compound interest. So if you're watching me and you are on the fence of starting investing, I think this might be a very strong argument to get into it and start today. Let's get to the next topic. Why you do not need thousands of dollars to start. In the past, it was necessary to have a certain amount of money because opening a brokerage account would cost you money. you would not be able to buy shares which are very expensive with small amount of money. There was also, all the way back, there was not a market for index funds or exchange traded funds. You needed a money advisor or bank to help you out. This changed a lot. These days you can download an app. Basically all your trades are more or less free except for a small amount of spread, or there will be a very low charge depending on the brokerage account you choose. You can buy something, it's called fractional shares. So if there is a share that is very expensive, for example, that might cost $500, you can just buy a little piece. So many brokerages are offering this. And especially doing dollar cost averaging, as most of the people are having our time then to get into the market, that's where dollar cost averaging became very popular. So you would be basically dollar cost averaging yourself into the market. You will be buying maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, exactly same day. You have your payment plan scheduled and you don't care about anything. And this is in many countries available with amounts such as little as $20. So now you know that you can start investing with very small amounts. But how is it if you are in debt? Should you start investing if you are in debt? The general rule, and this is something that I recommend to my students, is pay off your high interest debt, meaning everything that is higher than 6-7%. So this would be the credit card debt and everything else. And then it kind of depends on you. For me, it's important to have no debt, except of course for debt that is backed by real estate. So my real estate investments, I would have debt. I always pay my credit cards in full and I don't have any other debt than my real estate debt. But this is kind of up to you. I would not recommend investing if you have anything over 6 or 7% interest. But if you have debt below that, and if you feel comfortable with that, maybe also the debt can be deducted from your taxes, so it's not such a burden from you. For everything else, I prefer to have no debt. For you, maybe some student loans, it might be smart to go into the investing and take the advantages of the compound interest. So in a conclusion, I prefer to have no debt, but if you have a low interest debt and you would like to start investing and get into it immediately to take the advantage of the compound interest, then it's definitely a valid method. The role of emergency fund. So what is the emergency fund and why is it so important in the connection with investing? Emergency fund would be 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. So everything you need to survive for 3 to 6 months. Depending how conservative you are, it will be 3 or 6. So this is completely up to you, but you should have this money saved preferably at a high yield saving account for some extra security. The reason for that is the volatility of the stock market. So imagine you have now invested all your money into the stock market and there will be a market pullback or there will be a crisis. I think the best example that we all remember was the Corona crisis, where all the markets basically crashed. And imagine that in the same situation, when the markets crash, you see your money, you see your investments going down. You are looking at your brokerage account and you are getting depressed. And in the same time, your car breaks. And now you have no money on a side for the repair of the car or to buy a new car. And the markets are down in the moment. I mean, this is a situation, it happened in the past and it will happen again. And in this situation, it's important that you don't sell. So what I don't want you to do in this situation is to go into your brokerage account, into your investment account and sell with losses. This is why an emergency fund is so important. And you should not start investing without having an emergency fund. So why do I believe that it's better to learn how to invest by yourself than to trust the bank and financial advisors? Because at the end, these are the professionals. They went to the university and they should have all the knowledge about investing. Unfortunately, even they might have all the knowledge, they might not have your best interest in mind. Because you will pay a very high price for any of the banking products or any of the financial advice that you will receive. Most of the financial advisors get paid through percentages. So they will take somewhere between 1 to 2, maybe even up to 3% of your profits, which might, in the beginning, it might not sound a lot, but over the course of the years, this will be a massive amount hitting your profits. And I fully understand if you are super insecure and you have access to some of the top advisors and you just don't want to bother with it and you want them to do it for you, I mean, it's perfectly fine. But on the other hand side, please consider one thing. Most of these professionals, most of these investment bankers, and this is a proven fact, they do not manage, especially over the course of many years or decades, to beat the index. Index would be, for example, the S&P 500, which would be the best companies in the US, or the DAX, that would be the best German companies. And these indexes are not being actively managed, so you don't have this cost and the influence of these investment bankers. These companies will become part of the index or will be removed from the index based on their performance. So you are always investing in the best company. And for me personally, the combination between high cost and low performance was, at least for me, reason enough to learn investing by myself. But Katerina, why should I be doing all this investing? I can just leave my money in the bank, let it sit there. It's much safer. This might be certainly a little bit true, but the challenge that I have with the statement is the inflation. So if you keep the money in your account, the banks will give you only small amounts on interest. I think we all remember that a couple of years ago it was basically close to zero. Now, if you are lucky, you might receive something between 1 and 3%, but this is still nothing compared to the stock market. Because even if you invest into exchange traded funds, the yearly rate of return would be somewhere between 6 and 8%, depending what you are investing into. So if you leave your money in the bank, you have the opportunity cost, because you could be making 8% instead of 3%. And on top of that, this is not the reality, because every year we have an inflation. So basically the money loses value. You can buy less goods with the money this year than you were able to buy next year. So basically, if you leave your money in the bank and you are receiving, for example, 1% on interest from the bank, but the inflation that was also in the past years very high is maybe around 4%. You are losing 4% of your money every year. After I have learned this was definitely the reason for me not to leave my money in the bank, but to start investing. So why do I think that investing is not gambling? Even I also know many people that lost money in the stock market. So why is this case? You need to have a very clear strategy. There are certain principles you need to follow. So first of all, you need to diversify your portfolio. This is the well-known, don't put all your eggs into one basket. I like to do it through investing into exchange-traded funds, into individual share, maybe a little bit crypto, and also into real estate. And if you diversify your portfolio this way, and then also on top of that, if you are aware of the market fluctuation and you do not panic sell when the market crashes, and also if you have a time horizon of more than 10 years, you should be very safe. So let me show you the MSCI World Price Index and all the dips that we have experienced in the past years. As you can see, there have been some years that were very frustrating for the investors, but it's kind of the way you look at it, yeah? Because you can always say everything that comes down have to go up at some point. And then this is a very psychological thing, and most of the people know about it, but they cannot overcome their fear. So if you see the markets are going down, your portfolio is going down, you are losing money, this is actually the perfect time to buy. And most of the people are unable to do so, even they know this. So this is just a very, very interesting psychological thing. And I would like to hear from you maybe in the comments if you are managing, if you're already investing, if you manage to buy more when the markets are going down. But what I want to tell you with this example is that even there have been some massive dips, overall, over the past 50 years, the market went up. So if there would be basically not end of the world, yeah, or something really bad happens, if you have a diversified portfolio, and if you don't make some mistakes as selling when the markets dip and then through that realizing your losses, you should be on a very safe side. And this is definitely far away from gambling. Because with gambling, it's basically everything or nothing. With investing, it's a very different game, especially if you diversify. I hope this small course gave you some insights and maybe change the way you are looking at investing, and maybe now you have some appetite to learn more. If you would like to start working with me, how to start investing beginners course, few times a year, you can click at the link in my bio and get registered for that. If you are not 100% sure if this is for you, I offer 15 minutes free strategy calls. So again, go to my profile, book yourself a call. It's completely free. We can see where you are at your investing journey and if the course would be something that could help, or maybe some individual lessons would be better. You can also grab yourself your free investing guide. It's a one-pager that will give you an overview over the key principles and basics of investing into ETFs, individual shares, and crypto. And you can of course subscribe to my newsletter, where you will receive interesting investing information and also maybe some discounts to my course. And of course, if you want to stay in touch, and also I would be very happy if you follow me on my social media. So thank you very much. Let me know your questions in the comments and have a great day.